Automation. So underlying every single aspect that we've talked about, good automation, and this is why I chose this photo. Let's take another example where we had that Java Spring API that we built for a customer, or we built the automation around it for AWS. We had the CI/CD pipeline, we had the S3 static hosting, we broke their app apart. The only way that we were able to make these rolling deployments from code changes by developers and then have it actively update the front end and the back end and not have downtime for customers was based on a lot of automation. And that automation was written with bash scripts. The serverless framework is one of them, CloudFormation, and other supporting things which you need to be able to make all this magic happen. And so if you're thinking about how do I get into serverless, what type of complementary skills do I need? Automation is a huge one, right? So if you know how to write bash scripts, that's a big one. If you're familiar with the YAML files and JSON, that's a big one. And what I would say is don't get locked into the way the stigma around how people categorize different things. I've talked to a lot of developers who they hear DevOps or they hear operations and they think, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to write my front-end code or my API. But what I would say is that we're past that point now. Serverless has opened up the door where now you're writing the front-end code, potentially the back-end code, and you're writing the infrastructure and the automation supporting the infrastructure.
Infrastructure is code.
Infrastructure is code, right? And so with that setup, you then have the ability to do all these different pieces and the impact, you don't need 4 people to do it. You can have one full stack cloud developer, which is what we're categorizing it as. There was actually somebody that posted on Twitter a while back that said, like, how do I define somebody that does front end, back end, and the infrastructure for the cloud? And there was a couple different people that posted, but I think full stack cloud developer is interesting because it plays on the idea that you're a full stack developer, front end, back end, and then you're also a cloud developer, and the fact that cloud developing is like infrastructure, it's setting up all these different aspects, and you link all these things together, and underneath all this is the automation. So,
or you can start calling yourself an OmniStack developer. Hashtag OmniStack developer.
Hashtag
and
OmniStack.
we'll see how that one picks up.
OmniStack, I love it.